Hello again, it is In the Ring with Dida and my co-host Mr. Peter Leopeng, the best boxing analyst I've ever known in the country. And you know us, we give you the best boxing news, the best, we update you with almost everything in boxing. We dissect different fights. We're starting our show and we have a guest, an honorable guest, a brother of mine, Luna.
Honorable, I like that.
Yeah, honorable guest, Luna. Yeah, a man of integrity, Luna. This man once chained himself in a chair, Luna.
Wow.
Yeah. One man, Luna, you know, and fighting for the rights of musicians, Luna, you know, exactly. And Luna, this man, it's a member of the portfolio committee for sports, Luna, and arts and culture, and this is Mr. Eugene Mthethwa. How are you? I'm good, thanks, my brother. I'm good, thanks.
Good stuff, man.
Good.
Very much nice to grace our podcast now with your presence.
Indeed, it is a humbling situation that one of our own, who owns his own boxing company, boxing gym, he invites a musician to come and talk about boxing.
We're going to test and see how much we know about boxing.
Right. No, it's fine. I only know policies. Remember that I deal with policies.
That's good
I'm
enough.
a lawmaker, so if you ask me about boxing, I'll tell you what act is there for boxers.
Yeah.
The new board was supposed to investigate about what happened in Boxing Kiva report. The minister told everybody, all the boxing fraternity, and said there's going to be a report, and in the report, nothing is being done about it. Quite. The other thing that the minister promised was that now he was going to have a convention or a meeting with boxers only, where the promoters are not there, managers are not there. He's just going to engage the boxers and find out, what is their problem. We are still waiting for that. So maybe that's one of the questions or that you can ask him and say, you promised this, what happened?
Well, he has become for the Christmas of promises.
Of promises.
Yes. I like that he's saying the Father Christmas
of promises, not of delivering the actual promises.
But he delivered, He delivered. That's why I'm saying I like this, because he delivered. He gave boxers 80,000.
Not boxers. He gave
certain individuals.
Yes.
Certain individuals. Okay.
Without a criteria, following a particular criteria to say who qualifies.
Exactly.
This is what he's doing everywhere, even in the music industry. He gave certain artists monies for Christmas. That's why I'm calling him Christmas. Many promises.
This is scary.
So you see the challenge that we have with the current minister is that he's personalizing everything. He's not institutionalizing. So the day he leaves, he will live with everything that he has promised or he has done.
Yes.
Because he's not institutionalized.
Yes.
That's why the formation even of sectors, clusters, there's no regulatory framework that gives rise to such.
Sure.
He's fumbling with the acts. I'm sure you saw the other last week.
Yeah.
He mentions section 26.
Oh yeah, I remember I saw it on TV.
Section 26. Maybe he thought he was in jail. I'm 26, no, I'm 27. So that's the unfortunate challenge that we have at the moment. So even with boxing, you would remember that he just decided, I'm now going to institute a new board for boxing. I think there were some challenges even in that. Appointment of the board, the members of the boxing fraternity were challenging. That formation of the board. Yeah. So everywhere he is, where he institutes these either boards, panels for education on funding, or boards in the entities that are under the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. There's always something that comes after to bite it.
But Eugene, do you think the minister is there for arts, sports and culture? Or is he there to get fans, to win fans? Because it seems like, Donald, when you just giving away, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the honest truth, and again, I said he must dare challenge me on this one.
Yes.
That what he's actually doing, he's destabilizing the sector deliberately. Currently, you would have noticed that there are so many federations that their budgets have been cut, including SASCOC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, if you cut budget of SASCOC to zero, you expect SASCOC to come and report on what?
Exactly.
Before the portfolio.
Sure.
We can't subject them to anything because we did not fund them.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, that's what we hold government to account on. Where there has been taxpayers' money used, we must hold those people accountable.
Yes.
But now you haven't given SASCOC, and you expected SASCOC to run a forensic investigation on Athletic SA. Athletes SA. Athletic SA. And you allow this SASCOC, you are saying SASCOC go and do a forensic investigation on behalf of the department.
Sure.
But you don't give them money to do this.
They will never be effective in doing.
Yeah.
No, how are they going to do it?
So it is a deliberate. When you look at his trend, the trend that he's following is he dissolves boards. Okay, hurriedly so. And then when he constitutes the board, it must have colored people, because that's what he's now driving for political patronage, to grow the membership of Patriotic Alliance. In the boards, there must be members from PA who are sitting in the boards, NAC and NFVF. You find that they are board members of Patriotic Alliance.
Wow.
I mean, NAC, it's even the spokesperson, the legal advisor of Patriotic Alliance is the chairperson of National Arts Council. So that's what he's actually doing. And then when these boards, they come in, you will then find that there's this destabilization of the organization. It's either they suspend the CEO, they suspend the HR, so that they put their own people, because he wants to remember, he said Mabahambe, but behind Mabahambe, it is only Africans that he's relating to that they must go, because he wants to open spaces for colored people to be in the management of these entities.
No, this is discriminatory. This is bad. You know, the minister says he was complaining about that podcast of those young people who are trying to redeem themselves because they spoke. I want to say bad about colors. He attacked them actually. He was attacking them, and now he's the one now who's discriminating against blacks. I mean, but doing that.
But it came back to bite him, because as he was chasing those, and then people went back and then went gone and see now what he has posted before, and it was found that
the K word.
Yeah, the K word, when he used the K word, and then I don't know, he's thinking maybe can help there. He says, I didn't direct it at anybody, I didn't call anybody the K word.
I just said it.
But it's got nothing to do with that. The fact that you use that. It's wrong in itself. You don't say, okay, because I didn't come to you and call you the K word, therefore I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. That is crazy.
And the K word is associated with a certain group of people.
He knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Now, just the day before yesterday, I was debating in Parliament, talking about the heritage, and I used the full word. I hope you are not censored. Kafir. The word kafir, I used it in Parliament, and I said I used to be called a kafir.
Yeah,
yes,
it is true.
You know, and that is the history that informs who we are today, how we're reacting to people today.
Yes.
And I must put this as a disclaimer also, that no African can be a racist. That they must get acquainted to that, familiarize themselves with that. Africans can only respond to racism.
Yeah.
Africans can only react to racism.
Yes.
Those others would be a delayed reaction.
Yes.
You think of what happened to you 40 years ago, and today when somebody says something to you,
Yes.
a white woman parking and expecting you to open the parking for her or the door for her, you get agitated.
It's
You
true.
respond because you go back to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, those incidents where they were made bus boys and Makulu bus, clean buses and all that.
Yes.
So that's what I was dealing with. Now, I then said, it is unfortunate what he's doing, saying, even the members, if you can listen, there are even members of parliament from Patriotic Alliance, they're constantly talking about colors.
Yes,
colors.
exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
And what they are not aware that they are doing, they're pitching colors against black people.
That's right.
Soon we'll have black people fighting
colored people.
You know,
Tribalism.
Which will be so unfortunate because now, you know, we are the same. Seriously, we're just black people and colored people. It's just the
but
same.
where does this word color
come from?
Because it's not us who give them.
Yes.
They were categorized like that by the former
by the
apartheid government.
That's right.
True.
Which also gave them privileges
Yes, of course.
than black people.
They were second-class citizens.
Yes, it was Indians after whites, and then colored.
And then
Black people were the lowest
Yes.
class of them all. And today when he then says, put Mabahambe, put South Africans first, in disguise of saying put colored and white people first. That's what he's saying. Because when you look at even the appointment of managers or whenever he issues the department issues an advert around employment, if they want to fill posts, they will put out an advert that says coloreds, in particular colored and white people.
Sure.
In his mind, he thinks that he's being all inclusive. We mustn't, segregate against the minority. He thinks white people are minority. But what he doesn't understand, post-1994, we're supposed to level the playing field for black people who were the lowest.
The lowest, exactly.
When apartheid took more than 100 years, when colonialism took more than 1,000 years, he wants us to resolve all the problems that, in fact, the legacy of apartheid in less than 30 years. We haven't been able to do that because black people are still poor of the poorest.
Yes.
Okay? And he thinks by saying white people and colored, he's trying to be all inclusive. He doesn't understand the issue of leveling the playing field for everybody to participate equally.
In fact, I like the analogy of your or the slogan of your party, right? We have political power, but we don't have economic power.
Yeah.
Just simple as that. We've got the power, so you can vote, but what does vote do? Vote doesn't put bread on the table.
Okay, yeah.
And the other thing that I must bring to your attention so that we come back to what we are here for.
Yes, please.
The sports that are dominated by black people is suffocating them. Soccer. How do you give soccer, the federation, SAFA, gives SAFA 5 million for salaries, okay, as an advance, meaning in the current financial year, he must recoup the 5 million, which was initially allocated for participation of women in soccer, in sports. But with SAFA, it is soccer. Now, where is boxing? Please tell me how much has boxing gotten?
And I don't understand this, Nduna, because a lot of people that he gave money to, they believe he's the Moses of boxing.
Yes. You are aware of that, Eugene, right?
I'm very much aware of
taking certain boxers and then giving them 80,000 each.
Yeah, he's actually behaving like somebody who's running the department as a spaza.
Exactly.
He thinks that he owns that spaza, because you can't be a minister and going around giving people without a criteria.
Exactly.
That's true.
That criteria must be transparent and open to everybody to scrutinize.
That's true.
Okay, we understand you said people who were champions during this particular period to this particular period are the ones I'm going to focus on, and these are other issues or things that we must consider in terms of the criteria.
Yes.
You know, maybe age, maybe
Yes.
you know, all those things, demographics, spread, demographical spread of this money. It mustn't be people from Soweto.
Yes.
But again, Eugene, you know, a lot of people didn't get that money. Even those that they said, even when they said over 45s, there's a lot of them over 45 that didn't get that money.
Yes.
You know, so and you don't understand what the criteria was.
This is what
you know
talking about. What was the criteria? It was never really. They just called them. He said, for him, the criteria was legends. What is the legend? I said, what is the legend?
Yeah.
What is a legend? You can't just say, well, oh, okay, I decide, oh, you are a legend, therefore you must get them. Oh, you are not a legend.
Yes. And
so
another thing, Duna, is you give someone 80,000 and he has no plan for it. You know, at least if he was saying, okay, I'm gonna give you, just bring a business plan, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
maybe,
we will help you on
yes,
that is something that will generate money.
Yes, it's something that can be sustainable.
You know,
so it was all once off, and then we belong to a group, Eugene, with Dida, called Save Our Boxing, and then we have boxers there that benefited. And then they were taking me when I was saying this minister does not think straight.
Yeah.
He came up with this 80,000, and I said he's gonna create problems, and he did, because other boxers came up and said, "What about me?
I didn't get. Yeah.
I didn't get them. I was not paid. How are other people now? How do they qualify and I don't qualify? And when I'm in the same situation as them, and they couldn't answer."
Well, like I say, that it is unfortunate that this particular department is forever given to Tom, Dick and Jabulani. It is not, you will never find the Department of Health given to a policeman.
That's true.
It is always given to somebody who's a doctor, medical doctor.
Medical doctor, yes, who's in that field.
Zelimki is a medical doctor. The current minister.
That's right, yes.
Now, this is the only sector that its department can be given to opposition parties. Dr. Ben Gubane, you know, from IFP. But you will never find the Department of Finance or Treasury given to anyone outside the ruling party. Department of Police outside the ruling party. Department of Defense. I can mention the core departments that they will never give it to anybody or entrust it to it. But this particular department is seen as a demotion. When you are moved from police, you have created situations, Marikana situations in the police. You are dumped here.
It's a dumping ground.
That is what is causing us a problem, because a minister, first and foremost, who would call people legends, it means he doesn't even understand the term legend.
He doesn't understand.
Because in Sawawa, at his age, when he was younger than even that, he became a legend. What he wanted to say, maybe veterans, because a veteran, you know that a veteran is something.
Exactly what I told you.
And you know, Peter was saying that.
Like I was saying that in the group and saying, don't call them legends, just call them veterans. Veterans, whatever. No, they were fighting. No, we are legends. We're legends.
Again, the boxing fraternity, Luna, boxers, most of us didn't go to school. We don't know.
It's the same even in the other schools.
Yeah. So yeah.
This boxing is worse now because like all those punches now that we're landing on the head, I don't know now what they've done now.
That's one sport I would never get into. I cannot say you are more. No more.
Exactly, the mess up your brains.
Yeah, but some of us do
No, but when we are still
that thing,
you're not.
that looks bagger. Yeah.
So one thing that we need to look into, the thinking of the minister. He's thinking along the lines of a populist, a demagogic.
In fact, he used exactly the same.
Peter said that.
I said this guy is just a populist.
Yeah.
Coming out there, giving out money, and then he's a hero now for a few days or whatever. Oh wow, he gave us money and everything. Because the people were fighting me when I was in. They said, no, what did the other ministers do? They didn't do anything. I said, two wrongs don't make it right. If the other ministers didn't do anything right, you can't now and claim that this one just because he gave you 80,000.
Do this. The simplest thing that you can do: go to everyone who got 80,000 that time and go and see if they still have it.
In fact, this is what Dida said that and said, now where is the money now? Gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Back to zero.
Exactly.
But now, okay, I'll pose this question to you, Peter. What are the burning issues in boxing? And because I wanna come to the portfolio committee, the interrogation and the meetings, and the
Yes.
so the burning issues in boxing.
Yes, Mduna, it's the development, right?
Yes.
Development, and it's funny. Yesterday I was talking to Dr. Leopeng.
Yes.
In boxing, the one who does
The medicals of
PSA.
Yes.
And then he was comparing, because he went, apparently was invited to what is the rugby thing for Saru, yes. He said he went there. He says the organization there is unbelievable.
Perfect.
Professional. He says this thing is whatever, right? And then he said also, think about it. I spoke about development, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got Kamano right now who just started boxing and everything. And what is the problem? The problem is that now he just started boxing and he's not getting any fights.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the people who just started development, they must be fighting every month.
Yeah.
Every month now
That's
to
true.
build.
That's true.
Whatever.
That's true.
So he's not getting fights. How can a boxer not get fights? And then also, we're talking about school sports. There's no boxing in schools. There's no boxing in schools. There is rugby in schools. That is why rugby now has got a feeder system now. All these boxers
Rugby, hockey,
exactly,
cricket,
all white sports. But black sports, there's nothing like that. So that's why you must concentrate. The 80,000 that was given out, Eugene. What I was suggesting, it could have been better. And exactly what Dida also was saying. Take that money and then say, okay, we're going to give you this money. We're going to build a gym in the township, or in a school. And you, as a former boxer, veteran or a legend, whatever you call yourself, come in and you're going to train these boxers, right? And then there'll be a stipend for you. You can get something out of it, and then it's sustainable.
Now,
not once off 80,000 gone now.
It's the same unfortunate situation the same approach that they've applied even with the sector. I just want to compare deliberately, and I want to say this. I am the person who suggested the merger between sports, arts and culture, between arts and culture and sports.
And sports, okay.
To the President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Right.
This was when he was coming in and he was saying he wants to restructure government. He would measure the certain departments that probably are almost the same.
Yes.
And I said, yes, indeed, you can. I'm giving you for free. You can measure sports, arts and culture, to be sports, arts and culture, one department. The reason behind it was not an ideal.
Yeah.
It was not an ideal situation. I was deliberately plotting that when they measure the two, then they will have to deal with arts and culture similarly to how they deal with sports. Through SASCO.
Right.
Since arts and culture has got no governing body like SASCO.
Yes.
So they would look at that.
Wow.
But they failed to see that. Now, we are going to push for the separation of departments because it doesn't help.
It doesn't help. It's not working out.
Now, the issue of developing young talent.
Yes.
It is amiss of the department to say they've got a program called Legends, Living Legends.
Living Legends. Yeah.
You know, that's an adaptation, direct adaptation of a program from United States. What they couldn't understand, because that's what is also lacking from the department. The translation, interpretation and translation of the policies into practical terms within the context of the South African context. Now, why I'm saying that? You take something, always when they want to research, they go outside the country, go and research about us in England, and then come back and say, now this is what you deserve. They don't ask us what is it that we think should be done. Now, that Living Legends, it is a mix of the following things. It failed to think or to pronounce itself around material conditions that are different. United States, people can live up to 70.
That's right.
But not in South Africa.
Yes.
Because of poverty, people don't eat well, people are not working, they're stressed, there's diseases and all these.
They don't have access to the medical districts, yes.
By the time you get to 70, you are finished.
Yes.
So how are you going to train young people?
That's true.
What is supposed to happen is that a minister understands the things who understands. I'm more qualified than him to be a minister. To be honest.
No, it's true. It's true.
You know, because you need to then say, okay, it's a good project. Firstly, veterans, not legends. If it is legends, then it must include even those who are young, and very good at what they do. To teach, transfer skills. It's part of what we were given a mandate post 1994 that we must transfer skills. As Africans, our skills are transferred, even our history from one generation to another generation. By us being hands-on and practical. If you want to tell a story, bring Ukoko to tell a story to youngsters.
Yes, true.
Okay, if you want to train boxers, you bring legends and veterans.
Exactly, to come and
train. But in the approach that they have, it doesn't deal with that. And that is why federations, even the federations themselves, their concentration is very skewed. It's urban areas mostly that are getting better quality in terms of facilities, in terms of they must go to township halls. I practice, we practice, and we started trumpets at Bapedi Hall. You know. But look at us.
Yes.
But white people are always given.
Exactly.
You go to white schools, you'll find a tennis court, you'll find a swimming pool, you'll find a rugby field, all these types of, even musically, you'll find the piano, a guitar. We were doing oversight. And as you go around, you see that I shivered. You know, when you compare this, there's a tennis court in Northwest. You look at it, they say it's an Olympic size and whatever. Standard. International standard. I know, shit. Over 60 million is gone. Now, I said to him, and this is what I want to talk to you about as boxing fraternity. Stop fighting each other. You're wasting time fighting each other. The bigger picture is uniting, because there's a cake that you are not seeing that is eaten by white people. White people have done this very smartly. Post 1994, we said affirmative action. We missed the further descriptive way to say black in particular.
That's right.
Okay? They've pushed white women. They've relinquished their positions as managers, directors, and they put their wives.
They put in their
It's affirmative action.
That's right. Yes.
Because affirmative action doesn't say strictly
for black people.
Now they put their wives. Their wives have got skills and capacity that they inherited from the previous system that gave them quality education and experience to make applications. The reason why black people don't get funding, when black people apply, they become CEO, the financial director is him, the marketing director is him.
He's doing everything.
Everything alone in one. If you were to come to me with a business plan that says you are everything, I will not fund you.
Exactly.
It's a race.
Throw it out.
Okay.
Sure.
So you need to come together and do this. Say, this is our approaches. EFF were saying, put together, dissolve all these funding institutions into one institution, because you are spending so much money for salaries.
Yes, creating
and not the core business of what you want to do, the programs and projects. You are forever not having budget to do projects, but you never run out of salaries.
Yes.
Put these together, and then you say every money or whatever that this particular entity must benefit from, it's the 20, not more than 20% of this budget.
Yeah.
The rest of the budget, you then say, let's look demographically.
Bless you.
Which sports are more active?
Yeah.
Which sports? If soccer occupies 15% of the whole budget, give it to soccer 15%.
Yeah.
If boxing occupies 10 or 20%, give 20%. Let them deal with it themselves. Okay. At least you are pushing money, you are funding the actual development. White people will not go and develop a child in Shushuwe.
No.
They will never.
No.
Sponsorship in this country is very wide.
It's very wide.
It is.
It's very wide. It only sponsors white sports.
That's right.
The reason why you see Saru being what you say is perfect.
Yes.
It's because of the sponsorships. So many sponsors.
Yes.
That even arrogant towards us. They can tell us not to come into their room where they are sitting and relaxing. They can tell portfolio committee not to come.
But how do we get it right, then, Eugene? Get sponsorships, getting attracted to boxing again, you know? But how can we get it right? Because you remember long ago, boxing was sponsored by Allback, Vodacom. It was sponsoring that.
Yeah.
Where did it go wrong?
No, but you just said
what value would boxing bring? If I were to say today I'm going to allocate 20 million to boxing.
Yeah.
When boxing you don't see it on TV anymore.
Yeah.
When our government doesn't take it serious.
Yeah.
When young people don't have places, government is putting these gyms outside. What is this? Open park gyms.
And the Nyaupe boys are stealing those.
I asked them, they were reporting in the community saying the open park, the park gyms. I said, please tell me, in every place that I went to, firstly, take me to a suburb that has an open park gym.
Yes.
Start there.
Yes.
If there's a suburb that has a gym like that, I want to see how many people are going to that gym to utilize it.
Yeah.
You are giving people low products, low quality products and programs. And those gyms, wherever we went to, they were dilapidated.
Sure.
Nobody takes care of. There's not even a security employed to look after those things. They are just doing and hoping that the community will decide what they want to be responsible and then look after those things. So the reason you don't find sponsors is that even government doesn't take us serious. As black people, we are not taken serious.
No, not at all.
But we also need to take responsibility of our I don't know, it's the blind loyalty that we have towards the ruling party.
It is.
Because we vote and after voting, nothing comes to us. But come next elections, we still vote because we are being loyal.
Exactly.
Okay. One thing that I will tell you critical to sponsorship. Where I am, it is my responsibility to fight treasury. Sponsorship, they would look after value, let alone the value in terms of what you are doing, in terms of quality of what you are doing.
Right.
But they are also looking for incentives.
Yes.
Treasury has not given business people incentives for this sector to sponsor for this sector. It's only Boma Pogopoko who are even playing abroad everywhere, who are winning, that everybody wants to sponsor. But nobody wants to go and sponsor a child who's going to take 16 years to develop
and then become
an adult, a champion now. They don't want to do that. They just want to come when you are there and you are a champion out there. So it is our focus as government, and I include myself, even though we are monitoring and we are not government. We are above government. We hold government accountable. We don't decide on how much is spent by government on what. But when they bring their proposals, we need to scrutinize them. We need to say, no, we can't approve this if it doesn't have a ring-fenced amount of money for boxing, ring-fenced money for indigenous games. Where are they?
Exactly.
Where are they? Who's developing indigenous games? When we are going for Formula One, that was developed 20 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it is the approach. That's why I'm saying it requires somebody who has apparent experience. That department.
Yeah.
Who knows the pain of being an artist, who knows the pain of being a sportsman from the township, a sportswoman from the rural area. It requires somebody who's compassionate, who cares about people, not somebody who goes around and telling us that colors were.
But yeah.
No, there was a tricameral. There was a tricameral parliament.
They were there.
Which said Indians first, colored, black people were the lowest.
Not part of that.
Okay.
And those are the majority.
Yes. As a result, we ended up with UDF. Alan Busak was in part of that, saying, let's unite. Now Gaten is saying, no, let's divide. Divide and rule.
So
the
minister is untrustworthy man though, now when he is coming with that, with division though. Yeah. We wanna unite. And Gina, I wanted to ask you a question, man. You spoke about money being allocated to different sporting codes and everything. But in boxing particularly, who gets funding?
Okay. Funding in boxing, my understanding is that Boxing SA should be the governing body.
Yes.
The governing body in most cases will deal with the environment. Your regulatory framework is still relevant for today's active participation of boxers, development, what policies are put. You've got boxing now, women who are boxing, what safety measures should be put in place. And these are some of the things that you need to be gathering with Boxing SA and discussing. You shouldn't be worried about funding, because funding should then be where Boxing SA says we've got thousands of gyms that are developing boxers. For the gym, there's a gym, your gym, it is in this particular place, therefore it gets allocated this money. And in exchange, and it must be clear, it's not your money, in exchange of this, we want to see by the end of this year, 10 boxers from, we meet at the end of the year and come and investigate and show us, these are the 10 boxers there. How far have they gone? How far are they in terms of attaining the status of going out international? Okay. We don't do that. We just don't, we don't have this attitude of doing things, deliberately do things because we want to attain. Yeah. We hope.
Yeah, we just do things and hope.
Always hope for something will happen.
Do you think, Ndona and Eugene, the cause might be because people who hold these positions, these higher positions in sports, do not qualify, educationally so?
It's one of the
or maybe they've never done sports. Or
no, it's one of the reasons. Eugene actually spoke about it when we started here. He said, now in health, for instance, you put people who are qualified for that, right?
As doctors.
As doctors. But he says in sports, take anyone, just anyone. It's almost like a demotion. Just dump him there.
But who are we going to develop, Ndona, if we bring people who are underqualified?
That's what. But who puts these people?
Yes,
in leadership.
Right now, I think it's because it was firstly it was just the ANC on its own. Now it's the GNU.
Yeah.
So they come in and bring in whatever. Simple question: how does Gayton McKenzie qualify to be in that to be a minister of sports, arts, and culture? How does it qualify?
It's giving the ruling party seats he has or whatever number of seats he has to vote for.
Yeah. Yes.
Those are the challenges that I think that's why I'm saying the time to fight amongst each other.
Yes.
It should be a thing of the past.
The past, yes.
Learn from the pain that you bear, from the experiences. Take that pain. I normally say when the world throws you lemons, in as much as they are sour, turn them into lemonade. So whatever pain, it is a pain that develops you. I sound like somebody who's been there for centuries.
And yet,
but it's because of the pain that I went through.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Isolated by my own sector, regardless of me having never at any given point sold to the struggle of our sector. Never. I've never even sold anyone to anybody. Not even. I could have been going around and saying, niggas this I have never done that. But look at me. Whenever I speak, even in that parliament, they know people when they come to the portfolio committee, they know who they should be watchful of.
Yes.
Sure. So what you need to do, come together. I'm advising you as now the boxing fraternity.
Yeah.
In as much we have boxing SA as the umbrella body, you must now have cooperatives. This is what actually has been missing from us. We want to do everything on our own. That analogy. Now, if you have different people bringing different skills into one point, you then combine your application together jointly and say, we are reaching what? As boxing fraternity, these are the organizations we have, or these are the people that we represent. We are applying for funding for. Now, if you get that 20 million, be also honest and fair. Because that's another thing. Once you get money, you fight.
Exactly.
Divide it amongst yourself. But be fair by saying, you know what, you are very good with marketing. In as much you are going to get your share for your gyms, let's take this marketing budget and give it to you. Because you are good at marketing. You are going to market all of us.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. You are good at coming up with business plan, coming up or going or talking to people and selling this idea that we have. Go and do sponsorship for us. I don't think that mentality of us wanting to be always working alone and benefiting and getting rich quicker. It doesn't help us. It has taken us 100 years to get to where we are instead of taking us 5 years.
Yes. Eugene, last question for myself before we let you go. This different sporting codes is right. Boxing is the only sport that is controlled by the Act of Parliament. It stems from the old apartheid years and everything like that, right? Only boxing. So what does that mean in terms of problem that we have today, sponsorship, money allocated to boxing as opposed to other sporting codes? Because as I say, boxing is the only sport that is controlled by an Act of Parliament. Others are not. So how does that make boxing unique? And is it a benefit for boxing or is it a bad thing for something like that to happen? Because other people are saying that no, the problem with boxing is that now it is controlled by an Act of Parliament. It is an act for boxing only and not other sporting codes. So what is the difference?
Well, you're supposed to be at the top because you are backed by regulation.
Yes.
It might be outdated. Those regulations might be outdated. You
yes.
need to look into what needs to be updated on it.
Yeah.
But also it then gives the necessity for government to then fund boxing more than any other. If you are saying by an Act of Parliament, by an Act of Parliament, it means that we acknowledge that you do exist and you must exist.
Yes.
So we can't say you must exist because the Act says you must exist and yet not fund.
Yes.
And not support.
That's right. Because there is a boxing act.
Yeah.
And what we know is that now, okay, BSA, which is the regulatory body, is getting funded by from government. The last time I checked, it was to the tune of 14 million.
What is 14 million?
Exactly. So, but it was doing that, and then they were talking about, okay, fine, how much? And then they had to, the last board, for instance, they had to come in and account, if you remember, how that money was used. And most of it was like transport, when these guys were flying all over the show and everything, the board members.
Hotels and that,
yes, and all that kind of thing. So I'm not sure. So other sporting codes, does it mean that they're not allocated any monies like soccer, rugby, and other cricket, other sporting codes?
All other sporting codes are allocated budget
from government.
But let me bring it closer to you in terms of boxing. You have boxing allocated 14 million. Okay. There are 9 provinces in this country.
Right.
Are you saying 1 million to each province will do the work? And if you give 1 million each province, you are left with 5 million for Boxing SA to do what?
Salaries
and then also
salaries. The legal costs were about 12 million.
Yes.
Almost 2 million was left from that 14 million. So you can't be saying you are funding when you fund like that. You fund such 12 million, an organization that deals with international competition, that deals with development, that deals with federations.
We have to develop boxers to go to the Olympics. We're complaining about that because in the last 4 or 5 Olympics, South Africa has never had a representative of boxers. Now amateur boxers now going to
but who represents you? When you come to us, who represents you?
It's a good question. I don't know.
That's why I end up with the Promoters Association, because they wanna represent everyone in boxing.
Promoters,
because I think Balele. They wanna include the boxers. I mean, if there's no any other association, it means they're going to represent the whole boxing.
That's what they say.
Which is correct, by the way. It's a correct approach.
Yeah.
Because if you have Boxing SA must serve as a confederation. And then in the value chain, or what we call it, the ecosystem, you have boxers. They should be having their own federation. You have promoters, they should be having their own. You have technical
managers,
whatever. Yes, doctors within the sports. You have coaches. All the segments should be represented in their federation.
It's true.
Because you are then able, when you are together, united together, for a particular, let me say, a particular element of the value chain. Let's say the coaches, they meet, they talk their challenges, they talk their policies, they talk regulation, they are able to say, yes, this regulation doesn't serve our purpose, or this policy doesn't serve our purpose, because whenever we go and do ABC, it hampers us from doing so. So we need to then amend. That's where the information must come from, not the top-down approach.
Yes.
It must come from Ahmad Sebi, must come from the ground, upwards, not what is. That's why I'm asking you, who is representing you when they come to Parliament? It is the top management, top authority, accounting authority.
Sure.
But do they know what happens on the ground? Do they know how it feels like to play soccer on a field that doesn't have lawn, for instance? Sure. They don't. They know what it takes to put a gym.
Yes.
They don't.
You're hanging on now.
Yeah, no. It needs, I think you've given us a food for thought.
Sure.
This is something that now, as people who want to save boxing and also take boxing forward, seriously have to think about. But you're right in terms of the promoters forming themselves, because the previous board was taken, in fact, the minister, Zizi Kodwa, he was taken to court by the Promoters Association, and then they were winning every case. He lost every case that because these people said, this is what we do, the act says this, Boxing South Africa now, this is what we need to do, and this is what, for instance, they said he needed to consult them before he appoints the board. He needs to consult them and say, guys, but so Zizi Kodwa didn't do that. He lost the case, so he appointed the board. But what surprises me is that now, even the new minister now, the board that he has appointed, he didn't consult this
Promoters
bodies, the Promoters Association. And then they didn't take it.
No, he was supposed to consult the entire village.
The entire village, exactly.
Yeah.
So, from what we've seen and from what he has done, he hasn't consulted anybody. In fact, he was even proud. You know what he said? He said, I appointed the board that doesn't know anything about boxing, because they don't bring the package with them. So they don't know anything, and I'm proud that I appointed people who are not, who know nothing about boxing. And they don't know anything about boxing, Eugene. That's the problem. These people. But
who knows, Ndona, about boxing? Most of the people who know about boxing are not interested in taking part.
No, they do. And I'll tell you why. Because I participated. So what did they say? They said, okay, nominate people, right? Anybody, just nominate and then give them this thing to the minister, and the minister will chair. And then I put in a good proposal with one of the former boxers, right? Was interested in knowing and understanding how boxing should be run, to be on the board. And then that whatever the proposal we put in there was nominations just kicked out, and then he continued and appointed.
But I explained.
You explained is
the agenda behind it. As I said earlier on, that there's a particular agenda he's driving.
Right.
With his political patronage. It's not only in sports. It's not only in arts, culture sector. If you look at, for instance, a person like Rami Chwe,
yes,
she's supposed to be sitting at NFVF board, but she was sitting in the panel that appointed the board, and then now she's been posted at Robben Island as a board member. For what? She's more relevant to film and TV show than putting her at Robben Island. So it's that political patronage. They are boasting currently about raising membership. They are growing. This is the fastest political party is growing. He doesn't say that this is the reason why it is growing. Is giving people. They are giving people in exchange of membership something. Okay.
Sure.
No, he's right. And then, for me right now, it's still a conspiracy theory. But I believe that even all those 80,000 that he gave to the people, they came back to the party now, or it was maybe on condition that, yes, you're going to become a member of the party, or you are a member of the Patriotic Front.
And I guess this is where we come to the end, of our show. And Eugene, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And Fighter, Kubea guy.
Also the advice that you gave, as to Dida asked you and said, now, but how do we go forward now? Yes. How are we doing boxing? And then you came with practical things to be done to say, okay, this is not how you must do it. And I think, it's really food for thought.
I can give you this assurance. The new board and the CEO, the new CEO, they will be coming to Parliament to account.
Right.
I will make sure that I go through the Act and see where we can pin them down.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to developmental programs.
We need that development. We need without development, we are getting nowhere as a sporting community.
We don't have the amateurs
it's so bad.
Into the professionals. And our professionals sometimes now they have to go and fight world champions overseas, and they do badly.
They do badly.
And we ask ourselves and say, but why? Because they didn't get the proper development. Yes. And also the other one, for instance, we don't have boxers going to international Olympics, for instance, or
Commonwealth Games,
because there's not amateur system development.
There isn't.
So what we would then need to do also, write a letter to Minister of Communication and ask for a meeting. I will make time to come and attend that meeting, because SABC is dying a slow death.
Of course.
And it used to be, I remember those days when they were saying the rumble in the jungle. I would sit and listen to the radio with my dad.
It's true. What
3 a.m.
What has happened to this?
It's gone.
Yeah. So now we need to write a letter
to Minister of Communications.
Minister of Communications. Who is he, by the way? Minister of Communications. Yes. We'll find out. Yes. I think it's Malachi.
Yes.
That's right.
And then also small business development. DTI.
Yes.
You must talk to that, because sports is a business.
Yes.
This gym is a business.
That's right. Okay. So we write a letter to the Minister of Communications and
ask for a meeting.
Where we are going to talk about these things. For instance, why
SABC. Yes. I think government should not say, hey, come and ask and I will see.
Yes.
She should say, this is how much I'm going to fund to allocate boxing airspace, to buy airwaves, airspace.
We have boxing, 1 minute.
Wow.
That is imperative, Nduna. And I think,
But the last one quickly. So, but we write to the minister as what now? Do we have to be a certain body?
Let's write as a
members of the boxing fraternity. There you go.
Much lavish.
Why don't you shine the last time?
I thought you said no, this one.
That was it from us, and we're hoping it was fruitful, and we're hoping to talk to you again when, Luna?
Whenever the opportunity comes.
But don't forget to like this, to share it, and to subscribe.
There you go.
It's me and Dona, the best analyst, and Eugene. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all.